Welcome to Level Up with Chef Brenda. Today I'm going to show you how to chop an onion just like a chef. I'm going to show you two ways. One is the very simple way and the other way is still pretty simple but a little bit more challenging. So I want to give you the option. Before we get started with cutting, there are a couple of things I want to talk about. So the first thing is make sure you're always washing your onions before you start chopping. I like to wash mine the day before, that way they have time to dry. And the other thing is that when I am out teaching these classes, oftentimes we have a room full of people cutting up onions and everyone's just crying because it burns your eyes. And so I get the question, how do you stop that from happening? Well, I know when I wear my contact lenses that my onions just don't burn my eyes, but I like to wear my glasses. And so the only way I found to really prevent my eyes from burning is to use goggles like what the kids use in chemistry class. Or you could go to the store and get some of these fine babies. These are a lot of fun, they're really cute, and they have little pads around them so you can put them on, put them close to your eyes, and keep your eyes from burning. I've heard a lot of other tricks out there, I've tried them all, but I just can't find anything to work for me like some other people have. So maybe you have a tip that works for you, but for me, I have to use the goggles. So let's get started with cutting our onion. So the first thing I want to do after washing and drying, I'm going to cut off the stem part. It's important to remember that we are going to keep the root part on and we're going to keep that attached because that's going to help us keep our onion all together. So I have my scrap bowl here and I have a bowl where I'm going to put all of my diced onions. So first I'm going to cut off the stem. And now I've created a flat surface here. And then I'm going to cut my onion in half. I found that cutting it in half is really the best way to peel my onion. So now I'm just going to take the peel right off. Okay, now I put everything in my scrap bowl. I make sure that I just scrape off any bits, any peel that is on my cutting board. You don't ever want to use the blade of your knife because that will dull your knife and we want to keep our knife sharp. So the first way I'm going to show you is the easier way. So onions already have a natural sort of C curve in there, which helps get a little bit of a dice in this easier method. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut slits along the front just like this, but you want to keep it still intact where the root is. So you can see I'm just cutting along here, and then I'm going to put my thumb because I don't want to cut my thumb. See, here goes my eyes watering, and then I'm going to bring it all together. I'm using my guided hand. See how I have it curled here, and then I'm going to put my knife right up against my middle finger here, and I'm just going to guide my knife along with my fingers, making sure that I'm bringing them back as I go. And then you're just going to take this end piece and chop off any that's remaining, and there you go. Beautiful dices. So you want to, again, not use, you can use the back of your knife to scrape these together, but you don't want to use the blade. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scraper here and pick up my dice here. Now, the next way is a little bit more challenging. So see how I have my cutting board very close to my body? I'm not reaching out here. I have it close, so that way I'm stable and I'm not gonna slip and slide. I have a very sharp knife. So I'm gonna take my hand to begin and put it on top of the onion, and I have the onion close to my body. Then I'm just going to make these horizontal slices here. Woo, my eyes are watering. And now I'm going to slice here, just like we did with the other one. Now we're gonna come back with the thumb back on the root, and we're going to guide our hands, trying not to cut our gloves, and shut the oven door. These beautiful onion dices.
Yummy!